All right. Hey, Dr. Kingsbury, thanks for hopping on today. I appreciate you taking the time. Basically, what I wanted to do is you've been a client of ours for about, just over a year and a few months.
Yep.
And I just kind of want to bring you on, ask you, what your results have been, what your experience has been from day one. We don't ever compensate for these recordings. I appreciate you just taking the time, out of the goodness of your heart to speak to others that might be looking at us. So let me start off by asking you what drew you to Firegang? Like, how did you hear about us, and what caused you to kind of take the steps to working with us?
Um, Really just started doing research and also knew the other co-founder, Jake.
Wonderful.
Um,
Okay.
it's a combination of those two things happening, finding it and then hearing someone else reinforce it.
Oh, okay. So you knew someone that was working with us.
Well, Jake suggested.
Okay, cool.
I was with
So
the DEO at the time, and he made the suggestion. Plus, I had already found y'all organically anyway, so that was all I needed to hear.
got it. Awesome. So I guess what's been your experience with us? Good, bad, ugly, everything in between since coming on board.
So we've worked with many other companies over the years. I've worked with many since 2008, since I started working, and the customer service has been ridiculous. Jenna is completely insane in a good way. She's on top of it. You can tell she cares. She's got a lot of energy. She sends emails when she says she's going to send emails. She gets back to us when she says she's going to get back to us. And the effort she puts into what we request, as far as analytics go, or just anything, it's insane. Like we weren't happy with, we wanted to help our schedulers have better communication skills, and she herself was listening to and sort of taking notes on every single girl for like every call. I mean, now we're actually tracking every call. I mean, she's, and she was willing to help us out with that. She's made some really great suggestions. Every suggestion she's made is awesome. So that was like the first thing, is that she's just wonderful. But really, y'all help us redesign and make a really good website. And we've really started to see a lot more patients. Our staff is much better on the phone. It's been awesome. It's been awesome.
Wonderful. Yeah. So we helped you guys. We help. So part of our services is that we do call tracking and listening and coaching. So it sounds like we were able to help kind of turn some things around for you there.
Yeah, it's huge.
Okay. What
Really.
about new patient volume and all that?
Yeah, so we've got a lot of Google reviews, which is great. And so we were getting a fair amount of traffic. And I was actually, I mean, my philosophy is you can always be busier.
Right.
Even when you're at capacity, you just create more space, hire someone else,
Right.
Never stop growing. And so we were able to, it took some time. We had to tweak some stuff, but once we got everything right with the website, with our AdWords, with how things are, with how people were talking on the phone, we finally hit our number, and we've like far exceeded it.
Wow. Okay. So we've helped you hit your goals, new patient goals, revenue goals, and so on, and exceed. One of the big things that I've found for clients that have a lot of success working with us, or those that don't, is their willingness to kind of embrace the change that we seek. And for example, if we find that maybe you need help on the phones, you need something else, you being open to saying, okay, I'm going to go ahead and execute on that because that makes sense, and I want to work with you as a partner. Have you experienced a lot of that?
Yeah. I mean, so many, God, I feel like dentists specifically, they hire experts and then they think they're the expert. Have y'all ever experienced that before? Probably.
Oh man, I all the time. That I would say is probably the number one challenge that we have as a company as an expert is working with others so that we can help themselves, if you will. And we know, I mean, we've helped thousands of dentists all over the world. We work with hundreds of practices at a time. And honestly, I know, my team knows, we know it works. It's just,
That's right.
can we get the practice to embrace those changes?
Doc, check your ego at the door. We're the experts. Let us do our jobs. Implement the changes we want to implement. And without actually legally guaranteeing success, we'll guarantee a success.
Right.
I'm like a little different in that I know I'm not an expert in these areas. Like I'm an expert in very specific area of dentistry. I'm not even an expert of managing a dental practice. I'm definitely not an expert of the schedule. You know, we've got people that do all that. I'm an expert when it comes to, what I do with the clients, with the patients. And so whenever we hire a company, we do exactly what you said. And what everything y'all said to do has really, really helped us.
And I appreciate that. And again, we actually, we now, and I don't know if we've done this with your account. Have we installed Sika within your organization?
Yeah.
Okay.
So y'all got Sika working for us.
So crazy number on this. We ran 2 months ago in June. Was it 2 months? Yeah, 2 months ago in June, we ran a company-wide report on all practices that we had Sika installed with, and all of them that follow our process. We saw a 58% year-over-year growth in business. So just out of all of them, and I'm sure that you've seen similar growth or better. So what I guess for the doc that's kind of shopping around, thinking about who they might want to choose, who to trust. I mean, what message could you put out there? Let's say on behalf of us or just in general.
Well, do your research. Listen to this interview. Listen to more of them. Read reviews. But pick these guys. I mean, seriously, do yourself a favor and then get out of the way. Do exactly what they say to do. Spend the money they say to spend on AdWords. Spend the money they say to spend on, Instagram ads and Facebook ads. Read the analytics. Be willing to part with whatever it is a month. It's absolutely worth it.
Wonderful. Anything else that you want to mention or that I can help you with on this?
Jen has been incredible.
Wonderful.
Seriously, if I could, I would hire her away from y'all like that.
Yeah. We've one of the biggest changes in the last year and a half has really been investing in the right key members of our team to help people like yourself, and they're very smart. And we've got some others that would blow your mind. Even your experience is just with Jenna, and she's amazing at what she does. But we've also got others. So anyone coming in, typically if they're going to work with someone, that person is going to really know what they're doing, because again, they're not just dealing with one dentist. They're dealing with a team of different dentists all over the country, and they have been for years, and they know at scale what works, what doesn't, and how to prescribe an outcome. So that's really been helpful.
So I got a question for you. Speaking with Jenna, and y'all are pretty progressive, almost like a Silicon Valley startup, in that don't you allow the people that work for you to sort of work from anywhere, right? We
do, yeah. We're all virtual. Everyone is. So we do not have a physical office. Jenna lives in Florida. I live in Spokane, Washington. I've actually never physically met Jenna. I've met most of my team, but we'll either fly them out or meet at a meetup somewhere, or do a corporate retreat or something like that. I employ people all across the United States and into Canada, and then I've got contractors all over the world. But in terms of like FTEs that have full benefits and dental and 401k and all that, all over the United States. And
how many employees?
How
many Jennas?
So on that team, there's 5 key members for that team plus a manager.
How many teams?
Well, in terms of the client service management team, there's 1 team of those.
Okay, I see.
So Jen is going to work. We have a cap depending on the size of the account and the number of locations. So in terms of how many individuals she'll speak with will be determined on. We've got clients that have multiple locations built out, and many like DSOs that have a lot of locations, and then we've got others that are just the single owner, and then everything in between, it feels like. So depending on that and depending on their needs and so on, we'll try to prescribe organizationally and operationally like who should go where and based on what, whose skill set's going to match up with the right person.
I think a lot of the reason that she's so engaged is that she can work from wherever she wants to.
Yeah.
I mean, if I could apply that model to dentistry, if possible, I absolutely would.
That's coming.
Yeah, right. So So that's really great. And I figured I'll do that. I just wanted to ask you about that. Awesome practice.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. Yeah, so I appreciate you taking the time here today. And, I appreciate the partnership. One of the things that we really look for when we are bringing clients on, and we've learned this the hard way in a lot of cases, is who are those practices that will just go and execute, right? They'll follow the direction, they'll follow the leadership and the expertise from our team and just go and execute, because they'll get the success out of that. And they'll become much happier clients of ours long term.
Yeah.
Are you able to speak or comfortable speaking any of your numbers, before and after numbers from before working with us, or is that a hole that you'd be okay going down, or any sort of percentage increases or anything like that you could share?
So without going into specific numbers, but we're a large office. So I think we're 19 operatories.
Wow. Okay.
3 docs, 4 hygienists. We have increased our collections by 27% in the last year.
Wow, that's a nice increase.
And it's a fair amount of it's the number of new patients we have, and a lot of that's because of y'all.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, like I said, Dr. Kingsbury, I appreciate you taking the time. Stay on after this. I'm gonna end the recording. I'm gonna run a few things by you, but like I said, I appreciate you taking the time today. Hopefully if anyone's got questions, maybe they can reach out to you if they have, if they want to know more about it. But
yeah, that's totally fine.
Wonderful. Okay. Well, thanks, and we'll cap this here. But like I said, I appreciate you taking the time.
Of course.